How's it going, friends? It's Nick with Western Twin Cities Home Tours. We are up in the Northwest Metro today in St. Michael. Lovely area of town. Like I said, a little bit further outside of the metro. You're probably about 40 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. But we are in the lovely Anton Village neighborhood, which is being built by Robert Thomas Homes. Fantastic builder. He's got a handful of clients that have built in this neighborhood with them and have been quite happy. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Birchwood Sport Model, which is one of their newest models. The house itself is a 5-bed, 4-bath, just a touch over 3,800 finished square feet. It is a walkout, and I'm just going to pan around here to our left. As you can see, lots are still available in this particular area on this street, and it is a cul-de-sac. So nice options that are off of main streets. Not that it's a busy neighborhood, but either way. And again, just popping back to the area, we're just south of Albertville and the premium outlets and a little bit to the northwest of Rogers. So you're going to have plenty of amenities nearby. Always a nice thing to have. I know that's a conversation that I have with clients all the time is access to amenities a la Costco, Target, you name it. So Crow Hassan Park Reserve is also nearby. We've got Pelican Lake to our west. So definitely plenty of niceties that add to the lifestyle up here. So we're just going to pop into the house, do a little lay of the land, so to speak, for a model like this with Robert Thomas at this price point. This home is currently being offered at $831,480. So let's get into it. For starters, this home is located in the St. Michael Albertville School District, which is quite good. I know many of our clients that we help list in the Twin Cities proper, I suppose one could say, or closer in at least, are definitely looking up in these areas for that reason. And frankly, your money goes quite far up here, all things considered. You get quite a large, beautiful home that lives quite well for, in my opinion, a reasonable price point. So per the standard with Robert Thomas, the workmanship is top notch, especially as it relates to the fit and finish is the way I like to describe it. So all the millwork, all the install with flooring, fixtures, you name it. Even when it comes to the switch plates on the outlets, believe it or not, they do a great job. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, I've worked with their team a handful of times and consummate professionals there. Nothing but good things to say. So we've got our beautiful front entry here with the double transom window. More to come on the outside, but you've got a lovely front porch with the composite decking, low maintenance. Always a nice feature. The floors in this home are a top quality vinyl plank product. Got kind of a blonde oak look, which is certainly making a comeback these days. Immediately off the front entry, you've got a work from home space or an office, whatever you want to use it for. Tons of natural lighting. And just for reference, we are facing east here. But in a home like this, with windows galore, it's not going to matter a ton. As you can see, it is a bright and sunny late April day, so the house is going to be very well lit either way, but really a nice feature to have the natural light pouring in here. You've got the French doors with the glass panes here, always a nice touch. But as you can see, the builder setup, we've got a triple monitor with a printer and frankly, a large table/desk. So definitely would be easy to make use of that. Moving on into the hallway, you've got soaring ceilings on the main level. I want to say they're at least 9 foot on the main, which again lends itself to that bright and airy feeling. Kind of tucked back away from your kitchen and your main entertaining space here. Got a nice little half bath. Again, east-facing window, little pedestal sink. And again, not to repeat myself here, but all the workmanship is crispy. They do a wonderful job. A lot of new builds I see will have these half baths, but they're either right off the kitchen or right off the main entertaining space. I know this is close, but I do like that it's tucked back away here. So if you're entertaining family or neighbors, kids, friends, parents, etc., very nice to have. We're gonna hang a right here into the mudroom space. Got a lovely hex tile pattern on the flooring. This is sheet vinyl in here, but frankly, I am a fan. It's low maintenance and is going to serve its purpose quite well in a high wear area such as this. Got a large closet immediately off the garage. And the standard shelving units here are quite nice to have. They've got the free slide J channel on the shelves there, so you're not having to pick up and relocate your hangers. Plenty of room here for jackets as well. Those take up a lot of space, and of course, you could certainly do more with this. Very nice to have. You can see they've got a little credenza here. You could possibly do a bench or an additional hall tree locker type setup here. And we're just gonna pop into the garage real quick. Beautiful 3-car attached garage. I'll have to apologize for my voice echoing here, but you got the single stall, which is just slightly shorter here. You are roughed in for an additional motor on this. However, I do notice, especially in these homes that have, a number of folks living in them, busy families, whomever. A lot of people tend to use these as storage spaces, but you do have the rough in there if you want to add a motor. It's got the transom glass windows there to let some natural light in. And if I'm not mistaken, these garage doors are 8 foot. So if you've got a topper on top of your vehicle, should be no issues here. Or possibly even a work van would fit in here. Great depth. You've got a little extra with the bump out there at the back of the 2-stall. Love it. And if I'm not mistaken, I know a potential upgrade that you could always add to these garages would be a heater. It's not currently roughed out for one, but alas, I don't suspect that would be a tall order to install one, but lovely garage space. And if I'm not mistaken, most of these new builds do come with the MyQ Smart app for your garage doors, which is quite nice if you're like myself and you often leave the house wondering, did I shut the garage? And I have even heard from some of my clients that they've used that to have package deliveries made if they're in constant communication with the vendor that's delivering stuff. They can just pop the garage open real quick, have the package set inside if you're particularly concerned with that type of thing. I wouldn't be, but just what I hear. Walking into the main living space, south facing, again, you can see all these beautiful window arrays. You got 2 large picture windows, both in the living and the dining back there, that are flanked by single hung windows. Beautiful products. And again, at this price point, your windows are going to be quality products. 2 little picture windows flanking your fireplace as well. Got the beautiful heat glow gas insert. Got the stone surround, wood hearth. And as you can see, we've got the television mounted above with a nice chunky contemporary mantle. And you've got room flanking both sides of this fireplace for some storage units, or if you want to come in after the build and have some built-ins installed, you could certainly do that. And we do have some cover plates here and behind the television. If I'm not mistaken, those are just in place right now, but my understanding is that that's typically going to be for cord channels, internet, HDMI, you name it. Just a gorgeous open concept. Like I said, we've got soaring ceilings, can lighting throughout the main level. And the cool part about this development is you do still have some of the natural elements with the trees. Got a little pond back here. I know that mature vegetation is hard to come by in new build neighborhoods, but there's more than the standard in this development, I would say. Moving into the kitchen, fantastic. We'll call it a chef's kitchen. I think that's true. But as you can see, the layout just really lends itself well to entertaining. Like I mentioned, this is a new build community, so there's more and more people moving in by the day. So if you want to meet your neighbors, have them over for a little barbecue or what have you, you can certainly do that. Beautiful countertops. This is a quartz product, if I'm not mistaken. Quartzite, possibly similar. But you've got hard stone counters. Over here, you've got your nice little mail station and or coffee bar. Beautiful herringbone tile as the backsplash. And I always like to point this out. Many of my former clients know I'm a bit of a nerd for this, but you've got dovetail construction on your drawers. Soft closing. Always very nice to have. Stainless appliances. Got the LG French door fridge with the sliding freezer, water and ice dispensing. Another little alcove here. And everyone loves to have a pantry. As you can see, they've outfitted this with more of the wire shelving, so you're ready to go off day one. And if you do want to improve this, you certainly could do that. And I always like to highlight the hardwired electrical in spaces like this. Just makes it easier to see what you're doing. And you don't have to fuss with one of those motion sensing lights. Moving into the cooktop area, beautiful gas cooktop. Again, the appliance suite is all LG. You've got plenty of storage on either side, as well as counter space. So meal prepping for a handful of mouths is going to be no trouble. Got the custom vent hood that goes in line with the design. And as you may have already taken note of, we've got a lovely shaker style for our cabinets and drawers throughout. Dishwasher right next to the sink, right where you want it. And even with having the sink in the island, tons of prep space. You could set out a spread, charcuterie board, whatever you want to do, but really quite functional. And I do like the contrast here of the island with the cabinets. Nice little design element there. And then over here, you've got the wall oven and microwave, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. In my opinion, the cooktop with the wall oven is the best setup for a kitchen, but that's just my humble opinion. Moving into the eat-in dining area. So this serves as formal dining. You can see they've got it set up with a rectangular six-top. I would go so far as to say it would be no trouble to get 8 guests in here, possibly even 10, depending on what table shape you go with. If you were to use a round table or possibly an oval shape, I think that's only going to help you out. Beautiful fixtures throughout. We've got the matte black hardware throughout the home. And again, just looking at this beautiful nature space right off the back, it is still early spring, I would say. So they're still working on grading the lot, and the landscaping package is typically going to be a part of this. They'll bring in sod, and you can choose from a suite of trees, shrubs, bushes, etc. You can see they've got the stringer there for a deck. Typically, that's going to be something that as a homeowner, you'll have to add after the fact. But I know that Robert Thomas typically will have a list of contractors that you could work with. Otherwise, you could certainly bring your own after completion of the build. Fantastic layout. The thing that I love about this home, and a lot of what Robert Thomas does, is you have the open layout where you want it, which is this space, so you're entertaining. But I know that many of our clients these days, believe it or not, it seems that the open concept is maybe going a little out of style. But like I said, having it here on the main level where you're entertaining, dining, is the spot to have it. The rest of the home does have well-defined space. lives really well, or it will live really well. Beautiful carpet. Yes, I do take note of the carpet. I would say it's certainly more of an upgraded product. Heading upstairs into the living quarters here. Massive picture window. Again, this is east facing, so even on those gloomier days, natural light is going to have no trouble making its way in. Heading up to the living quarters here. We've got 4 bedrooms up. We've got this little loft space, so to speak. We'll flip around on that in just a second, but we're going to head into the primary. Gorgeous primary suite. French doors. Makes it feel a little extra swanky. Always love that. South facing once again. Lovely fixtures throughout. And if it wasn't apparent, this is a king size bed with room to spare on either side. So bring your largest dressers. You're gonna have no trouble with storage in here. You can see they've got one here already. And the nightstands that are flanking the bed themselves are good size. There's another view to the outdoors. Another triple array of single hung windows. Pop those open, get a nice breeze coming through here. Love it. You may have noticed that chair I just walked by, so you've got a little bit of a sitting area. Got the walk-in closet here. Again, same shelving throughout the home, so I'm not gonna harp on that too much, but nice little upgrade is, again, the J-channel free sliding rails for your hanging storage. Nice puck light there. And moving into the ensuite. Everyone loves a nice ensuite. The flooring in the primary bathroom here is going to be upgraded. We've got oversized tile, kind of a slate color. Really plays nicely off the rest of the colors throughout the home. Got those nice kind of soft, earthy neutrals, kind of the beige from the oak, and otherwise light colored paint. We love it. Another single hung window there. And then the beautiful standalone soaking tub. Picture window, south facing once again. I'm gonna keep saying it. So the sun is gonna move around this side of the home. And the trees are still coming in, but got a pretty high degree of privacy here. You could always add a window treatment to that if you'd like, but the standalone soaking tub is always very nice. Oversized subway tile kind of framing this in. It's kind of a horizontally fluted style, so kind of some light grooves in there. Subway on the little ledge here. Then we've got our gorgeous stand-in shower. You can see we've got the rain head here, 2 puck lights, and then you've got an additional wall head. And this is not to be overlooked. The double faucet valves here to turn this on without having to get yourself splashed before the water's nice and warm for those winter showers. Or summer showers if you're taking a nice cool shower after mowing the grass or playing at one of the nearby parks. Beautiful tile work. Like I said, the tile tells the tale. We've got solid craftsmanship with tile. It just really speaks to the rest of the home. That's oftentimes the first thing you notice if it's not done well. Shower pan, nice hex tile. Love it. And this is a frameless door, so it swings both inward and outward. Very nicely done. And if you hadn't noticed, that tile does carry to the ceiling. Very nice. And then here, we've got our water closet. This is one of the main things that I love about new builds. It might seem small, but just having the commode here with its own dedicated vent, so you can shut that off and do what you gotta do. Love that. Double vanity, beautiful mirrors and fixtures. Again, just overall upgraded. Got the chrome faucets, and your countertop is going to be quartz, if I'm not mistaken. And you have an outlet on this side, as well as one over there. So we're not fighting over who gets to use the blow dryer. Excellent layout. I'm a huge fan. And just the little things that you get with a new build. Outlets galore, so you're never having to worry about that. Also, we've got a thermostat up here. Many of these new builds do have kind of a zone climate control ability, even though we have forced heating and cooling. That's oftentimes something that we see more with radiant heat closer into the cities, but really nice to have. Programmable thermostats as well, so you can be mindful of your energy usage. And bedroom number 1 here, we've got at least a full-size bed, if not a queen, bifold closets. Love it. Very nice. And moving into our hall bath here. Just a nice elevated feel. Quartz counters again, double vanity, cheap vinyl flooring, but the pattern is quite charming. Kind of reminds me again of something you'd see in Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's kind of the older, we'll call it the floral design, but it is a hex honeycomb pattern. And once again, separate water closet. You've got the commode and the shower, nice deep tub. And then this is an insert, kind of emulates the beveled subway tile. Nice ledge there for storage for your toiletries. And easy to clean. Don't get it twisted. I love a nice tiled shower, but for what this bathroom is going to be most likely used for, it's going to be high traffic. And that'll be nice and easy to clean while still having that kind of upscale look. I'm going to pan around here to the loft space. You can see they've got a nice little desk here. So set that up as a homework station, or you could possibly get a Peloton bike, you name it. But nice to have the little extra bonus space there. Here we've got general storage. Call this a linen closet. And this could service the entire upper level. You can see how spacious this is. Nice storage shelving as well. Very nice to have, so you're not having to stuff your closets full of extra bedding and blankets. All right, we're gonna swing around to bedroom number 3 on the upper here. Also, those 2 bedrooms that I was just in, they are on the south side of the home. We're now on the north side. And you can still even see how bright it is. Yes, we've got the lights on, but plenty of windows throughout. Again, full-size bed, nightstand, dresser, plenty of room. And then this really is almost like a junior suite because you have a very sizable walk-in closet for a non-primary. Same thing with the free sliding shelving. Love to see that. Top notch. Similar story over here. So all these bedrooms are spacious. Again, we're just a touch over 3,800 finished square feet. And all of these rooms, with the exception of the second one, have their own walk-in. I mean, these are very spacious. 12-year-old me would have not been mad about that. All right. And then last but not least, on the upstairs, we've got a very spacious laundry room. You can see the washer and dryer are included in this model, if I'm not mistaken. Always want to check with the builder. I know that's something that you'll occasionally have to purchase yourself as a buyer, but these are included. You've got your attic access up here as well, if you need to get up in there. And of course, you could certainly do a lot more with this space. They've got the single shelf there, but I mean, there is plenty of room here for additional storage for whatever you might need to utilize that for. Just chatting a little bit more about the area. St. Michael is certainly a rapidly growing area of the Twin Cities. As you can imagine, there's more land to build up here, so that checks out. But more and more folks are moving up here, and like I said, there's a lot to love. Plenty of outdoor and park space, good schools, strong sense of community, my former clients have told me. And really, even still, not super far away from Minneapolis and St. Paul if you want to head into the cities to do anything as far as entertainment goes. All right, moving down to the lower level. I just love this space. It's so functional. You've got the walkout which is always a little bit more sought after. So a walkout off a cul-de-sac doesn't get much better than that, in my opinion. Got a lovely entertaining area. You can see that they've got the entertainment unit. You could get a pretty large TV on that wall. Nice setup. Got the high top table over here as well. And then we've got our final 5th bedroom. Really good size here. Toss the in-laws down here while they're visiting, or your angsty teenager, whatever you want to use it for, but always really nice to have a gray sized bedroom here that's somewhat removed, well, definitely removed from the others. So really a nice layout. I'm gonna pop in here real quick. Great sized 3/4 bath, again, for your guests, your in-laws, your teenager, whomever, but really good sized single vanity there. Beautiful shower. Again, another insert, easy to clean, excellent height on the shower head if you're a particularly vertical person. And then very generous toiletry and linen storage. Sheet vinyl flooring in here. So again, gonna be really well suited for high traffic if this is getting used a lot. Obviously this bathroom will be the go-to if you're entertaining down here. So always nice to have. And the crown jewel of the basement here. I'm gonna stand kind of right inside the entry. I have to apologize for my voice echoing again like the garage, but we've got the sport court here. Shoot your basketballs, set up a hockey net in here. If we have any future NBA or NHL or WNBA or Women's Hockey League. Super nice. And one thing I did want to point out, sometimes an afterthought, but they do have a hard surface here. If you're letting dogs out or even just going out onto a potential patio or playing in the yard, it's nice to have something like this so you're not stepping directly in onto carpet and having to worry about, getting that all dirty. Got the recessed can lighting down here. And the ceilings are quite generous. I want to say they're 8 foot or so, maybe a little bit more. But the nice thing about these walkouts is they really truly feel more like a lower level than a basement. And lastly, I'm just going to pop into the mechanical room. I mostly just wanted to come in here to showcase the amount of storage, so you're not having to clutter up your garage. You can see they've got a whole desk set up here for the builder rep, but tons of storage. And I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but as you can imagine, you've got all the niceties of, modern building products: high efficiency furnace, air-to-air exchanger, huge electrical panel. 200 amps is typically going to be your standard. It looks like we have a sump pump over there as well, and passive radon has been the standard for over a decade now, if I'm not mistaken. And you do have a low voltage center here as well for all of your Ethernet, coax cables, and the like. So just wanted to show that to you as well. Like I said, really nice to have so you're not cluttering up your garage space. And I should have mentioned it earlier, but if you like what you see, I have nothing but good things to say about Robert Thomas. Like I said, I've worked with them a handful of times before. Their team is excellent, and the product that they produce is fantastic. If you're interested in learning more about either this model specifically, or any of the others that Robert Thomas has to offer, reach out. 612-708-8910 is my number, or you can shoot me an email. It's Nick, N-I-C-K, @tothetwincities.com. I'd love to help you out. So, as I mentioned earlier, still working on the driveway and the landscaping. It's a bit early on in the season, but the entire front of the house is going to be using, most likely, LP Smart Side on the front facade. You got beautiful stone around the 2-car garage stalls. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, you got the composite decking here, so that'll be really low maintenance. Give it a little tickle with a garden hose or a really low PSI pressure washer. A little bit of a deck scrub now and again. The one thing I also wanted to point out is this home does have gutters. Something that's not always the standard, and I would want to check with the builder, but really nice to have. I know that they spend a lot more time on water management and proper grading with these new builds than they did back in the day, but always nice to see. Again, there's those 8-foot garage doors. I'm actually going to swing around this side just to get a little bit more of a look of the neighborhood as well. And you can already see those gutters doing their job. Springtime in Minnesota, as you know and love it. So over here, you got your gas main, irrigation blowout. So this home does have or will have in-ground irrigation. There's your electrical service main, and then your exhaust for your furnace. We've got our air conditioning unit here. So I love that they have started, well, it's been a while, but a lot of these builders will add this bracket so it's up off the ground, so you're never having to worry about this becoming unlevel. But this is going to be cooling the main and upper levels for the most part. In Minnesota, most lower level or basement levels are going to stay quite cool on their own. I do know that this one does have the southern facing exposure, so might be doing a little more work down there than some other homes, especially with the walkout, but really beautiful lot here. I know it's muddy right now, but by the time they sod it, it'll be looking real good. So the eastern, southern, and western elevations of the home are going to have vinyl siding, so they should be nice and low maintenance for you. And like I said, you can see the exposed stringer there. If you want to have a deck added, you certainly could. Again, if you like what you see, reach out. We're definitely in the know as far as current incentives as well. Should have said it earlier, but that's an additional draw to building new, is that a lot of builders are offering some tasty incentives for these. And in general, if you'd like to know more, reach out and talk about Robert Thomas, the area, whatever you want to know. Till next time.